Okay, we are live.
Ooh, exciting. Ah.
I know you don't listen to it, but I always think of the Six soundtrack when I say when we go live because there's a lyric in that.
I've still not listened to that.
It's so good.
Live streaming.
Oh, sorry. I started syncing our video in the background. Didn't realize I hadn't closed down the link yet. That was weird. Oh, what was that? What are you eating?
Chinese chips.
Chinese chips. Oh,
Yeah,
Chinese...
from the chips from the Chinese, salt and chili chips.
Hang on, I'm going to put my laptop on Do Not Disturb because naturally, as soon as I go live, it's like, hey, we have 10 emails for you. Oh no, now it's going through my phone. Shh. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live. What's everyone reading on this fine Friday / start to the weekend? I am reading this.
What is that about?
It is about some girls in the 1900s that get stung by a wasp and it kills them both. They were kind of meeting secretly in a romantic sense, but it was kind of expected but not allowed kind of thing. So they get caught doing that and they get killed by these wasps. And then we've got the modern day where there's been a film made about it, but it's all centric around this book that they had with them when they were found dead. So they think there's this haunting around the book basically, and the film I think is going to start getting hauntings. It's really, really good. I'm really, really enjoying it.
Hauntings, interesting.
Yes, it's good so far. It's by the same author as... Oh no, I've forgotten. Oh, The Miseducation of Cameron Post or something like that. She did something that I remember being... Yeah, The Miseducation of Cameron Post. She did that as well.
Oh, is that the one What's Her Face is in?
Yes, it
Chloe
is.
Maria.
Yeah, I think it's that one. I think. Yeah, hang on.
Oh, are we drinking alcohol this evening, Bethany?
I have allowed myself the one this evening. And then...
What is everyone drinking? What is everyone's beverage today? Beth is obviously drinking alcohol. I am drinking gin. That perfectly covered my face there. Wow.
Yeah.
What a shot.
Raybearer, Secret Lives of Church Ladies. That sounds like it's one title, Raybearer and the Secret Life of Church Ladies.
The Secret Life of Church Ladies sounds very exciting.
I'm reading Counting Down with You. I'm loving it.
Oh, I've seen that one around. That's the she's really good friends with the one who wrote These Violet Delights. Chloe Mon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Earthlings is interesting. Bizarre.
My friend wrote that recently and I was like, Beth read that and she was like, oh, it's a bit weird.
It starts off like just kind of weird, but like not inappropriately weird, and then it just kind of becomes very bizarre. I won't say anything to spoil it, but it's
it's interesting.
Definitely interesting. Rebecca, yes.
Heartstopper, yes, I love Heartstopper.
So good. The last, well, like not the last, like the fourth one. Oh, so good, so good.
Oh my god! Someone says the way both of your cameras are set up genuinely looks like you're looking at each other. Oh my god!
Wait. So Lauren, how are you doing today?
Oh wait, I'm looking the wrong way. There we go. I'm doing fine, Beth. How are you doing?
Good. Can we high five?
No. There. Right. Okay. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. I could do this thing where I go like that and like put my hand through, and then your hand could like conveniently come through and like pick your ear. So that where?
Oh dear. Abby is joining you with the gin.
Love that. Happy Gin Day.
Hello, Australia. Oh my gosh, 4:30 a.m.
Someone was making a sleep pattern. Great.
Wicked series, Jennifer Armentrout. We're not sure if we're doing sprints. This is more like Q&A, question-y thing, but if they're heavily requested, we may do one, but it's not necessarily the purpose of the live.
Lauren struggles to read when she's on gin.
On gin?
On the gin. Anyway, I guess we should dive in. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, we've got we did a Q&A box. We basically always do these kind of things on Instagram. We get a load of questions and we answer them on Instagram. In the past, it's been like content creation themed, like so Instagram generally, because that makes sense. But we thought we would try it on YouTube because we wanted to see if this was any easier, if you guys preferred it, what worked better. But we thought it would just be a nice cozy evening in just casual chats. We have questions. I have a manner of different questions on my phone that I can.
I've not actually looked yet. Also, it was a good opportunity for me to actually do something socially because I'm actually wearing makeup for the first time in like 3 months and to get my hair done.
Yay!
Look at that streak.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
We love a bit of Ashley Bond.
So shall I just go? I mean, I've got a couple of questions that you guys can all answer in the comments as well, but I've had some on Instagram. So I thought we would dive in. Shall I throw them at you, Lauren?
Yes.
Okay, you've already told me you don't know the answer to this first one, but I'm going to make you guess it anyway. How many books do you own, do you think? Everyone in the comments can answer this too. How many books do you think you own? I roughly know the answer to this because I counted about 3 months ago. So I'm going to just add a number onto that. I think I roughly own about 850 books. Which
I
is
don't own anywhere close to that, I don't think. But also at the same time, I could because my bookshelves are double stacked. Because like you see this, but behind those, there's also an entire shelf of books. So it's possible.
And you've got them all on your bed as well. I'm not going to include Kindle books. I'm going to say physical books.
Yeah, physical books probably because those are the ones that take up space. I'm going to go for about 500-ish. I've never counted my books though, like ever.
That's a decent number.
That's a terrifying number.
It's a lot. Okay, favorite day of the week and why?
Actually, this is funny because right now is my favorite day of the week. Friday, finish work, just got Chinese, drinking my gin and deciding what I'm going to do for the rest of the night. This is my favorite time of the week because Saturday you're like, oh, tomorrow's Sunday, tomorrow's the last day of the weekend, and Sunday's obviously the last day of the weekend. So Friday evenings are my favorite time of the week.
I agree. There's a certain freedom to a Friday evening where it's just like, yes. I definitely agree there. I like Friday evening and failing that Saturday, but then you do spend most of Saturday thinking tomorrow's Sunday. So that's sad.
When is the petition going to start for 6-day weekends?
6-day weekends? I thought you were going to say for 4-day working weeks.
No, 6-day weekends.
Oh, cat.
6-day weekends, and then we work super duper hard for 1 day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I really hope that 4-day weeks come in soon, and I think they will, because I've seen I think there's like 400 companies in the UK doing them already, so hopefully it happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one's going to take some looking on my core pile. Least favorite book of the year so far and why? Oh no, I know which one mine is.
This is difficult. I might have to look at my core pile.
I can say what mine was. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne.
Which pains me greatly because that was my favourite book. Well, kind of.
I'm sorry.
If you like The Hating Game, put your hands up because I loved it.
I wish I loved it. It was so awkward to read, the relationship between them. It was so abusive and manipulative, and it was weird. It was creepy. I didn't like it.
Okay, so I can't believe I've forgotten what my least favourite reads of the year were. I'm saying reads because one of them actually DNF'd. I tried to read Crave by Tracy Wolff. it was an experience. A vampire who listens to Childish Gambino, really? I mean, I know it's supposed to get so much better, so I do plan on giving it another chance at some point, but it wasn't the thing for me. I can understand why it's an addictive read, but another one of my least favourite reads of this year was A Vows of Bold and Deadly by Bridget Cameron, unfortunately, because I did not enjoy the last book that much.
Yeah, it fell flat. I think it wasn't like a least favourite read for me, but like in comparison to the other two.
Yeah, in comparison, like I still gave it like a solid like 3.5 stars, I think, or something like that. But compared to the other books in the series, which were like some of my favourites, yes, like it's probably not up there high.
Okay, what book release are you both most excited for in the second half of the year? I think we could agree on one of them that we're definitely joint excited for the second half of the year.
50 Shades of Grey version 2.
Yeah, version 2. There's 3 in that. That's
Kingdom of the Cursed.
Midnight in Everwood.
I was saving best for last, yeah. I mean, technically, I already read that one that you've not read.
Okay. Once Upon a Broken Heart, Stephanie Garber.
I agree. Also, Kingdom of the Wicked, and if anyone here has read the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, I know I keep on trying to get you to read a bit, but she's bringing out a bind-up of novellas for like all the couples that she's written about so far, so you know what's happening with them, which I love. So like, it's kind of like what Sarah J. Maas did with A Court of Frost and Starlight. She kind of gave us a glimpse into what's happened after. So we're getting a bind-up novella of that in September, which I'm really, really excited for as well. So, yeah.
Okay, everyone in the comments, what book are you really excited about? I would have said Heartstopper Volume 4, but I have read and cried at that now, so that was all good.
Someone says, "Oh God, Crave." Yes, I feel you. I feel you.
Cool. I haven't read that trilogy.
I think it's sent by Team Bookmark.
I am reading Malibu. No, I'm not reading. I'm drinking Malibu and pineapple out of a can, bits in a glass. I'm having it so it's not in my fridge anymore.
Someone says yes to the Off-Campus series. There we go. Yes.
Oh no! Don't.
You're my new favorite person.
Mr. Impossible.
The second Raven Boys book, but for Ronan Lynch.
What? That's what this is?
So the first one is called In the Hawk, and the second one is Mr. Impossible.
Ah, they're very different titles. Can I just raise attention to the fact, have you got a very tiny fork in your hand? Like, what is this?
Why? I thought I was going to get away with this. Why do you draw attention to these?
Minute fork.
Cocktail sticks, okay? I can't be bothered washing a fork, okay?
Why don't you just pick them up with your hand?
Because it gives me greasy fingers.
So you're eating chips with the contest. Okay, all right, fine.
I don't appreciate this judgment.
Yeah, I'm just going to whiz through some of these. Oh God, Aristotle Dante is getting a sequel. That's been out for ages, hasn't it?
Has it been out for ages?
Yeah, I didn't know there was a sequel. That is like a long.
Well, yeah, it's the first book's been out for a while, but
that's what that is a long wait for a sequel. I don't know why I didn't realize there was a sequel for Song of Wraiths and Ruin. That was really good.
You know how that book that I tried to get you to read, Grasshopper Jungle?
Yes. There's
a sequel to that. I don't know if it's out yet or if it's coming out, but I waited a long time for that. I'm excited for that one.
You're a mood. With your tiny little thingy, what's it called? Cocktail stick.
See, when I'm done with these, I can recycle these. Whereas a fork, I would have to take it to a sink and turn on the tap and wash it and waste water. How dare I?
Yes. Oh, I saw an email for this, the release day event. I need to look into that. I think it's next week, isn't it?
I did not receive an email for that.
Yeah, WATERSTONES emailed me.
Oh,
for staying up until 4:30 in the morning. France.
I my copy was just dispatched.
Oh, I loved it. It was so good. Our next question is top 3 auto-buy authors.
Top 3
I mean, I'm not going to ask for them. You're now dubbed an eco queen by Abby.
Thank you. I'm going to tell my sister that.
Top 3 auto-buy authors.
Samantha Shannon, Kenny Maniscalco. Number 3 always changes. Sometimes it's Sarah J. Maas, sometimes it's Stephanie Garber. Right now, I would say Mia Kuzniar. Is it Kuzniar? The one who wrote Midnight in Everwood, because I'm very excited to see what she writes in her future. She is a very, very good writer, and this is her first adult book coming out. So,
okay. I'm struggling to pinpoint exactly who. I know Victoria Schwab will always be auto-buy. And I don't want to say Sarah J. Maas because I feel like it's a really obvious answer, but I think... No, actually, no, I'm not going to say Sarah J. Maas, because if she released anything more in the Throne of Glass series, I don't know if I would like immediately jump to buy that. My favourite book is written by someone that's unfortunately dead now, so I can't auto-buy from them anymore because there won't be any more books to auto-buy. What about Alice Osman? I might put her on there because every time I read a book by her, she just makes me feel very happy and content with life. Oh, who else?
I feel like Chloe Gong would be atop of my list as well. Chloe Gong.
Yeah, Chloe Gong's pretty good.
I loved the character she wrote in Beast Island Delights. Juliet is a queen.
I think something I really enjoy. I really, really love The Black Flamingo by Dean Atter, and as soon as I finished it, I wanted more by that. So if he released more, I would probably grab that very quickly because I just loved that. So there's ones like that as well. I don't know. It's really hard.
I met him ironically, I met him at my last social event before COVID hit, and he was lovely. He was so nice. I wasn't even getting my book signed by him yet because I hadn't bought it yet. I was getting my book signed by Alice Osman, and he looked over and he was like, "Oh Lord, and that's a lovely name," and I was like, "Thank you."
Aw, that's always sweet when they're even more nice.
Yeah.
This is the problem with pre-orders, right? I do the same thing. Sometimes it just rocks up and I'm like, oh. Addie LaRue I got 5 copies of because at one point I forgot I'd already got one.
Have you seen this thing that's going around and it's Addie LaRue Autumn?
Yes. Well, I've seen it because you sent it to me. Well, or it was in our group chat. But yeah, is that like a red...
I don't know what the cover looks like, but I've ordered it. But now I'm kind of annoyed because apparently the US is getting spring and summer. I don't know if this is true. It's just rumors I've heard.
Oh.
Apparently the US is getting spring and summer and we're getting autumn and winter. And I'm like, well, no, I don't want it anymore. I can see what they're trying to do, but I was like, I don't really want it anymore.
I mean, that's another way to get something very collectible.
Elizabeth Lynn and Becky Chambers. I'm very, very excited for 6 Crimson Cranes.
Oh, so pretty. The like the pastel colours on like that whole thing is just.
Are you talking about the Fairy Loot release or the the arc?
The arc. The arc is like stunning.
Yeah.
It just like favorite book as a teen. I really liked Before I Die by Jenny Downham because it talked about sex for a page and I had never reread anything about sex. So I was like reading that page over and over again. When they put that condom on, I was just like, you tell me how, you tell me. And I really specifically remember reading that at about 12 or 13, I think.
My God, that was young.
Was it? It was aimed. I mean, she was like, I think she was 16 and she had terminal cancer, so she was like ticking all these things off her bucket list. But yeah, I had puberty books and stuff at that age anyway, so I knew all about it.
Favorite book when I was younger. So when I started reading again when I was in like 4th year at high school. So well, third, fourth year of high school, so that was like 10 years ago now, which is wild. First, I would probably, I'm going to have to say one of the Moral Instruments books.
Which one?
I can't remember. Because The Clockwork Angel wasn't out for a couple of years. Maybe City of Glass?
I'm nodding like I've read it.
But there was also like Hush Hush and stuff like that, which were like classics back then, which...
I never read those either.
Oh, they were like, I know, Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini. I've recommended that one to you recently. And I don't know if you saw it, but they actually just revealed the covers for the re-released editions.
Oh, okay.
Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini. I loved that series. It was like, it's Greek mythology, enemies to lovers, and I'm talking like they try to kill each other, enemies to lovers.
Actual
also,
enemies.
Yeah, like full on, she is attacking him in high school. What is it as well? A love triangle. So enemies to lovers, love triangle, and full on like attacking them.
I didn't read YA as a teenager. I read adult, so I feel like I reversed what I was meant to be reading when. I don't know why I didn't read it, but well, no, I do know. I just wasn't like, I read Hunger Games and stuff, but I didn't really read those kind of series, so I missed all of, like, when everyone's like Hush Hush, I'm like, I never read it. I was reading adult murder.
I want to know if anyone in the chat has read Hush Hush, because it's
so many people must have.
It's like, if you read it now, it's nothing that's going to blow your mind, but it ticked so many boxes. Gossip Girl, yes. Yeah, we love Gossip Girl.
Where in Middle Earth would you live?
Rivendell.
Yeah.
You see?
I mean, I'd probably also go with Rivendell or Hobbiton / the Shire, because it just looks like a chill life, and you don't have to go into an office. Whereas in Rivendell, I feel like you have to stand for attention a bit more, and there's more formal jobs that you might have to go to.
I kind of want to say Gondor as well.
But where was Gondor when the West fell? But where was Gondor when the West fell?
Sitting eating tomatoes. Oh my god, Abby is my new favourite person. She's read Hush Hush and Evermore. Oh my god, I loved Evermore. Oh. Abby has been dubbed my new favourite person.
Oh, God. The Walls of Mercy Falls, Maggie Stiefvater. I haven't heard of that. Inheritance. I did not read these kind of books as a teen.
I remember the summer I turned pretty. My friend used to recommend that series to me all the time. Is that not getting me?
It's such a weird title. Summer I Turned Pretty. If you're just talking about in a conversation and people don't know you're talking about a book, why am I getting so dark? I am in a very bright room right now. Hang on.
Remember that Christmas where I got like semi-attractive?
Hang on. Let there be light. Maybe. Is that any better? Probably.
Hobbiton 100%.
Okay, that's better. I'm less dark
now.
Oh,
do you know where I would like to live as well? That place where the name always escapes me for some reason. The place where is that where Legolas is from?
Mirkwood.
His home pad looks pretty damn cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Lothlorien's cool too, but I would totally fall out of the tree. Like, because I'm not going to become an elf just for living there, am I? I'm just going to fall out.
I think I would deliberately yeet myself off the tree and hope that one of the elves like catch me. Nothing
more exciting than when he comes down on the spider in The Hobbit, or when he comes down on the shield. He's just so cool.
Can I tell you the amount of fright I got in the cinema when I saw that spider come down?
I just love the moment, like, because we watched it with Ava, and we watched The Hobbit first, and then we watched Lord of the Rings for the first time, and so that's how she met Legolas, and she loves him. I had a full-length poster of Legolas when I was a kid, but she really loves him. I haven't read anything by Tara Matheru. That's just been mentioned a few times.
I got sent the Novice by Team Bookmark, but it was an unsolicited arc. I never read it.
I
heard it's like Pokemon meets Harry Potter or something like that.
Oberon?
Pokemon.
Oh, I think Oberon is in like Shakespeare's like the character from Midsummer Night's Dream. So, okay, interesting. What was the first book that started your love for books?
Are we talking specifically all reading or just YA?
All reading ever that ever existed, that ever was, and ever will be.
Ubos, the Book of Spells, and I've got three. Ubos, the Book of Spells. The My Secret Unicorn by, I think it's Linda Chapman or something. And third one would either have to be Best Friends by Jacqueline Wilson or Sleepovers by Jacqueline Wilson. Might have to be Sleepovers because I remember I read that so many times when I was younger.
Jacqueline Wilson was good. To my memory, I know that I absolutely loved reading The Magic Faraway Tree and The Magic Wishing Chair. Anything Enid Blyton, my mum and I would read when I was a kid. But apparently when I was very small, before I could actually read, my mum read me this certain Thomas the Tank Engine book so many times that I actually memorized it before I could actually read the words, and I would read it back to her without being actually able to read. So maybe that Thomas the Tank Engine book, but it's a really hard question because I've literally always been a reader. But like I remember taking over, like my mum and I were reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix when I was about 6 or 7, and older than that, about 8. And I stopped halfway through with her reading it to me and decided to read it myself, and that was like, you know, a pretty hefty book. So I remember that being like a real, like, I'm gonna read this, you don't need to read
Harry
it.
Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was the first book I skim read because I was bored.
Skimmed it.
I was bored.
Did you watch the film first?
No. The film trailer just came out and I was wanting to read the book because everyone else was. I remember I had 2 friends in primary school who fell out for a year because one of them spoiled what happened to Dumbledore.
We actually, some bastard in my 6th form, when the last Hunger Games book came out, I'm not going to say what happened in case anyone has not read it, but they spoiled a big moment in the end of the last book, and it was like a race to see who could read it first, and they got there and then just told everyone. Not cool.
Imagine someone doing that about a Sarah J. Maas book these days. Oof, they would get cancelled so fast.
What was the first book that started your love for books is the question. Potter. I think a lot of people will say Harry Potter. Literally all Faraway Tree / Wishing Chair. Yes. And also they've changed these now to make them more PC. But one of the things they've changed, which makes me laugh, is that one of the characters. So have you ever read these, Lauren, the Magic Faraway Tree? Do you know about them? So the concept is there's this magic tree in the forest by these kids' grandma's house. And there's 4 of the kids, Jo, Bess, Fanny, and oh no, I forgot what the other one's called.
What? What's one of them called?
Fanny. Which they've changed. I think they've changed the name Fanny out of it and put something else in. And then I think Bess is now Beth. But oh god, I forgot what the other kid's called. Anyway, they all go up to the top of this tree. It's a magical tree, and there's creatures that live up it, including this guy called Moonface and this pixie. And they all go up to the top of this tree, and there's a different land there each story. So like there'll be the land of topsy turvy, so you can't stay up straight. And then like there's all these different lands, and one of them had this woman in it called Dame Slap, and she would like hit the kids and be like really abusive essentially, and it got removed from the story. I think she's either called something else or she's not in it at all now.
That sounds like it could be like you said, really abusive, or like the name of someone who's like a sex person or something.
If Enid Blyton was written now, I think she would be like, people would not be happy with her writing, but because it was in the 50s, I think it was quite a different. No, it might have been before that. I don't know. I'm going to look up when she was about.
Funny, really.
She was.
There's literally. I don't know if there's any Scottish people here, but there's literally an advert for I Am Brew, and it's like, what are we going to call her? She went, Fanny. We're a long line of Fannies. And he takes a drink of like I Am Brew, and she's like, aye, Fanny, that sounds great. And she's like, it's like, I don't think if it like, so, I don't know, like an American watcher or something like that, I don't know if they would get it, but it's like, the minute we hear that word, I'm just like, no.
I just looked it up. She was publishing big in the 30s, so it was, you know,
Wow.
this back when Fanny was a name and gay meant you were happy and things like this, and now like words have kind of changed.
That's very strange that like.
I don't know. I'd be interested if she was published now, but yeah. Anyway, hang on. I have a couple of questions left. Okay, I haven't read this, but someone's asked to recommend a book similar to the Authenticity Project with the contemporary found family trope. Have you read that or heard of it?
What?
Or can you recommend any with the contemporary found family trope? The only book that I think of, the massive book that I think of when it comes to found family isn't contemporary. It's Lady Midnight. I always think that they've kind of had that found family, but
it definitely has found family. I mean, like Emma Carstairs lives with the Blackthorns. Like she is essentially like their sister.
Yeah, I don't know what. I can't think of books with found family. The House of the Cerulean Sea is found family. Not that I've read that, but I was talking about that in a video today.
I'm going to suggest the one I recommended you recently, Grasshopper Jungle. It's found family, but in a very forceful way. Not in a bad forceful way, like we have to, you know, stick together kind of way, or we're going to die kind of way. If anyone wants a really, really weird book that will genuinely just leave you like as if you are drunk, like you'll read it and you'll be like, am I drunk right now? Like, what the hell am I reading? But also at the same time, really enjoying it, and it has LGBT rep as well. Give it a go.
It's a weird cover.
It's about these two boys that somehow stumble on the end of the world by a massive grasshopper growing the size of like an elephant, and it goes around eating people, and it like respawns and stuff, and so there's worlds being taken over by a massive grasshopper and they need to survive. But whilst this is going on, he's talking about the history of his family, so it's like jumping back and forth, like talking about the history of his family and how it links back to now, and then in the process of this he's trying to decide whether he's in love with his girlfriend or his best friend.
Oops. That kind of sounds like the premise of, well, not quite, but of Love and Monsters, which is the new Netflix film that I was kind of
be surprised if they read that book and then ripped it off.
I mean, it's got giant insects, including like a giant grasshopper, I think.
It's quite an interesting read. I really enjoyed it.
The final question I've got in my Q&A box for now is, how do you manage working, content creation, and reading? So I always feel like I've just kind of got used to it, but that's not really a very useful question. I plan everything to a T in terms of what I do for work. So my day job, first off, like I work 8:30, 4:30. I'm never working before then. I'm never working after then. So like I know before and after those times I'm free. Content creation, I write everything down, and if it's all ticked off, then I've got nothing to worry about. I am, again, free, and I don't have to panic thinking, oh my God, when am I going to fit all this in? So then once that's all ticked off, I can either sit and read then, or if I know I don't have to tick it all off by a certain day, I just work on it like that. So I just know exactly what I have to do and by when. And then I also read during my lunch break, or with audiobooks, if I am doing an image-based task at work, if I'm designing something, I can listen to an audiobook whilst I'm doing it.
And I'm not kidding, guys. She schedules in her phone calls.
Only a little bit. More so I can clean.
Like, hey, do you want to have a spontaneous phone call? Need support? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay.
Mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's truthful.
All right, what are your tips, miss?
Don't sleep until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning. I bulk take my photos now. Like, for example, so what I do is, like, this is obviously for social media. I bulk take my photos. So in January, I took like a bulk amount of like 30 photos. I post once a day, like every single week. This, except from Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays are my off days. These are the days I read. I just kind of balance those photos out over the next couple of months. Like I'm literally about to run out now from the photos I took back in January, so I'm due to take some more like this weekend. Balance and work. I mean, obviously everyone is working at home right now because of COVID, but outside of COVID, I worked from home anyway, so it's weirdly more difficult. I found that like I used to work at a place that sells spicy chicken.
What could it be?
I'll not say their name because I hated it. But I used to work at a place that sold spicy chicken, and I would be able to come home, have a shower, and then like I spent ages in the shower, and then I could read. But now I'm like, I work from home, and then I like struggle to run downstairs, make my dinner, and then get some reading in, and then maybe do some like tasks that I need to do before like 9 o'clock. Like usually I'm still up at like 11 trying to do my task and not had my dinner yet. So I don't know. I'm really not the best person to ask this kind of stuff. You're the kind of person.
I got in I got a bit annoyed with colleagues from work a while ago, like obviously when we were back in the office, because one of them said something to me, and like I don't know how, but she basically thought I scheduled in my free time or like my fun time, and I was like, no, it's just that I work 2 jobs, so I kind of have to know when. Like I will have a rough idea that X day is downtime day, but it's not like it's scheduled in. And like I got really pissed off in the end because they were like, oh, Beth schedules in her fun time. Who needs to schedule when they're relaxed? And I'm like, oh, it's so funny that you guys leave the office and then you're done with your job for the day. But like, you know, I've got 2 jobs. So nah. But yeah, I do find that planning helps. But also at the moment, I've got stuff happening with my flat, and it's really difficult to plan because I'm not getting the dates that stuff's happening. I'm just getting told, oh, it'll happen today, which is why like things like this live being really last minute is easier for me, because if I planned this and then my plumber said she was going to come around later today, I kind of have to let her come around because it's so hard to fit in. So yeah, it's planning is good, but sometimes planning doesn't work even then.
No. Yeah, follow Beth's advice. I'm not someone to follow. I struggled deeply. However, I have been finding doing the bulk photos and then balancing them out over the next couple of months works. Whilst I'm saying that though, I do like, let's say someone like did like Sarah J. Maas, she's doing like a cover reveal and I want to post about it. I will take a photo for that. That's a really quick thing I can just put together. But I take like the bulk photos and they last me for like the next couple of months. So basically I just need to find a weekend where I'm willing to sacrifice like 2 days off to just do bulk photo taking. Because the thing is, like you said, it's a second job.
Yeah.
In like taking photos isn't always fun. It can be annoying because like sometimes you just don't have the ideas. So, which is me most of the time.
I feel like I have to start doing it to then get the ideas. Yeah.
That's what happened to me last time. I started doing it and then I started getting ideas.
I think this is a really good shout as well, that sometimes, if you're feeling anxious about stuff, sometimes planning it or just writing stuff down can really help with anything, not just content creation, but like, you know, if you know that you need to go to a food shop and you also need to put your bed sheets in the wash, just writing that down can help. I think it just takes anything that can take anything out of your brain. Like people that don't put calendar events anywhere and just keep them in their head, I'm like, how? Like how? Because I have so many events like happening every week that I'm just like, oh my god, you're insane. That I'm just like having to write them all down, so I can't not do that. Apparently Lauren can. God, my chair is squeaky.
Well, ask me how I remember. Well, not remember. Never mind. Don't ask me anything. I remember my page number. I don't use a bookmark.
Yeah, but the other day you were on the phone. You were like, "Oh God, I forgot my page number,"
which made no sense because I'm reading on my Kindle.
No, it was a while back. We were on a FaceTime with loads of people, and you were like, "I've forgotten my page number."
Oh, Chain of Iron. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good memory exercise. Also, can relate to Joe Davies because we also have OCD.
We are one collective human. I've just noticed a button down here that I think might actually spread our cameras out more, so I don't have to. Yes. Oh,
I don't like that.
moving.
I don't
Do you
like.
prefer it the other way? I keep moving because I keep going out of shot. Do you want it that the other way?
I feel like you can see more of my trashy room this way. It doesn't matter to me.
I like. You could. All you could see was just my Birth of Venus book cover here.
Mm.
My naked lady that I'm sure I'll get in trouble for one day with ad revenue or something, which I really shouldn't. But hang on, let's flaunt it. Ad revenue. Look, it's a great cover. I think.
Oh, pardon me, that hurt.
Did you get any questions?
Or
does anyone in the comments have any questions about anything? It could be life, the universe, everything, our glowing, ever-growing friendship.
And just so you know, I have no filter, so you can ask me anything.
I also have zero filter, and the perk of this being on YouTube is that there's no chance that any of the people that somehow found me that I work with on Instagram will be watching it. I don't know how they found me, but they have.
Let's see. What questions did we get?
I feel like there are some questions that could be asked and you might not answer with a filter. I just feel like there are some more personal questions. There are probably some more personal questions that would be filtered still.
Like what?
What? No, it's weirdly. I don't know what's too inappropriate. Well, there's certain sexual or body questions that would maybe be too personal to answer on a live stream.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, if anyone's got any questions at all, then do pop them through. Also, we were thinking of doing something like Never Have I Ever or whatever other kind of games that I've forgotten that we discussed now. We said Truth or Dare vaguely, but I don't know how that would work.
I don't know how Dare could go because there's a limited thing. Yeah. Interesting question because I'm not on Booktube. You go.
I started Booktube in 2016 and then stopped after about a year because I couldn't keep up with everything. And then I started back up again because I wanted to use my degree, which was in film production, and I wanted to get involved in a different way. I really like speaking and filming rather than writing every time I do something because my day job is writing as well. So yeah, it worked. It was a good choice. Favorite book of 2021 so far?
I mean, so I would usually say The Mask Fallen for this, but I technically read it in 2020. So yeah. I'm going to say Midnight in Everwood.
I'm going to have to look at my core pile. My heart immediately says Heartstopper 4 because I just absolutely loved it. But I know there was a book I read recently where I said that could be my current favourite of the year. I really enjoyed reading The Lost Apothecary, actually. I think it might be that by Sarah Penner. That was really good.
I've just realised my copy was not updated. So I recently read Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron, and Beth can attest to this. I was terrified to read those books because I was like, those are going to take me months to read. Months. Because I've just finished Queen of Air and Darkness, which took me a long, long time. And I was really scared about reading them, but I started reading them and I blazed through both of them in like a week. I love those books, but I have to say the one that really like got me this year was Midnight in Everwood. I was crying by the end of that.
It was tears. It was good.
I sent a picture of my tears to Mia, the author, and I was like, "Look what your book did to me," and she was like, "I'm sorry."
Which book do you own the most editions of? For me, it's Addie LaRue by Victoria Schwab. I have to say, I've got a lot of editions of that. I have 5.
I think a lot of people would assume the Bone Season series for this, but I actually think it's Caraval.
I was just about to say I would say Caraval because of that picture you put up the other day.
Yeah, so like the thing is like if you helped one of the really good things that Hodder did when they were doing like the promotions for it is like if you helped them announce the covers, they would send you one of each cover as a thank you for helping them out, which I thought was really nice. And so I helped them reveal the cover for the first book, I helped them reveal the cover for the second book, and I helped them reveal the cover for the third book. So,
so they sent you 4 of each?
They didn't send me
variation?
they didn't send me the fourth for the 4 for the last one. They sent me the 4 for the first one and the second one. So I have 4 copies of but I have 4 copies of the original Caraval, 4 copies of Legendary, and on top of that, I also have 2 exclusive editions of Caraval, the Tesco one and the Goldsboro one, and then I have the Goldsboro Legendary. And
the
then
Tesco one?
Yeah.
Tesco did a different version?
Yeah. Do you want to see it?
Yeah. What did Tesco do? That's so random.
Hold on.
Okay. Whilst you do that, this one I'm going to be sneaky and say you have to wait to see, because I literally just filmed a video about that and it'll be going live in a couple of weeks.
So
back to Tesco.
It was random, but like, so here it is. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
And obviously, you know, the Caraval covers had the dress, the circus tent, the rose, and the clock for the hidden covers, right? So
a hat. I actually might remember that now. That is so random that Tesco's did that.
I bought 3. I did a giveaway with them. But yeah, I must admit, I think like, see, there's this shelf here, right? This shelf here. It's got Stephanie Garber there, but then everything behind it is Stephanie Garber. So.
Even Stephanie Garber is actually on the shelf, crushed behind the books.
She doesn't know yet.
Regardless of money / pandemic, where in the world would you want to live?
I quite like Scotland. I'm going to stay here.
You're going to stay?
What?
I think if we're talking like money also wasn't something I needed to earn, then I would go somewhere like Bali or something like that. I would want to go somewhere hot and beautiful that I could just sit and read all the time. But I don't want lizards and things in my room, which I know is going to be really hard to avoid in places like that. But yeah, I don't want bugs and stuff. I've never been to Bali, but it just looks lovely.
I know my answer. I've got 2 answers.
Go on.
So, Australia. I would love to live in Melbourne. A little bit biased because I've got a friend there. But apparently my mum described Melbourne as like just a Glasgow but with nice weather, which I quite like. So there, or I would love to live in Japan if I could speak more of the language. That would be pretty cool. Oh, a new person has just entered called Amy Garvey. I wonder who she is.
Oh,
I don't know who she is.
Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl, hey.
This is very exciting. I like that. I always love it when I see new people join in the Booktube community. Lord of the Rings, I do have 3 editions for each book, I think, but it doesn't quite top my most owned collections of books. Hardbacks or paperbacks? Hardbacks for me. Yeah, in fact, I have a lot of my paperbacks in here because this is not the bookshelves I look at as much. What?
I cannot believe I just saw someone saying, I think the most editions I either have are Gatsby or Addie LaRue. I'm sitting here going, Cannibal, I've got 30, no. Right, sorry, I've got 31 copies of Gatsby. I'm like, Cannibal is the bit most, Gatsby. Sorry.
Italy is Rome was amazing. The only thing I didn't like about Rome was the amount of people trying to sell you stuff on the street, and like they would try and get you to hold the stuff so that then they would let go of it and you would be there holding this thing and they'd be like, well, you've got to pay me for it, and I'm like, I don't want this thing. It was awkward. I
loved Italy, but Rome was actually one of my least favorite places in it.
Really? Did you go to Ostia Antica outside of Rome?
No, me and my sister went to Rome first, and we get the train to Lucca, which is the most stunning wee town. And it, like, see if you need to relax, you go to Lucca. It is the most relaxing thing. I hired a bike right? And basically, like, the town we stayed in was inside this like castle wall. And you can get that park is like basically on top of this like wall, and you can get a bike, ride up, and then ride around the entire town. And see, it's the most relaxing thing. Honest to God, I was like in my element. Then we got the train from, whilst we were in Lucca, we visited Pisa. And then we got the train from Lucca to like Garda, where we stayed for it. And that was probably the most beautiful place because
Let's
like
go
Garda.
there.
And then we went to Venice, which was easily the most expensive place. Like, we got spaghetti and wine, and it cost us like almost €100. And I was like,
oh my God, see, that's one thing that Rome's got going for it. Like, everything is about 10 to 12 euros for the same dish of spaghetti in every other restaurant.
there was some kind of appeal to Venice though, because like they had all the masquerade mask shops in that dotted around. Me and my sister got one of the, what's it called? The boats.
Gondola.
Yes, we went on one of them, and I almost like choked and fell into the friggin' water when I found out how much it was for that short of time.
Oh my God.
We also went to this little island, like it's in Venice, but it's like away from Venice, and you have to get like a 50-minute boat ride to get to it, and it's like a little island where it's got tons of coloured houses.
Cute.
Like, tons. It's like Balamori, but in Italy.
I did enjoy Italy, but I'd like to see more of it. Ostia Antica was really cool. It's like preserved in the same way that Pompeii is. So it's like a city underground, and you can walk around it. And you can go into all the old houses. At one point, I ran around on a fake horse, which was a good fun time until I accidentally ran around, and there was another couple stood looking at something, and I was just walking around going, "Nay!" So I was 22, 23.
In your element, basically. My dad's been to Pompeii. He showed me pictures of like the people's like silhouettes.
Oh yeah.
And, like I was honestly like, wow.
Yeah, it's horrendous. I've not been, but I have seen those. This is such a lovely comment. I'm really glad I could help Olivia. What book has helped me escape the most? Not specifically linked to COVID times, but a book I really associate with escaping is when I went through the most painful breakup of my life at that point. I started reading an arc of Caraval, and it was so utterly bizarre and fantastical and like so escapist. I think there's something very magical about that book because it's just the right amount of believable whilst also knowing that you're entering into another world, so it just works. And I really felt like that specifically at that time. I don't know if I'd have read it at a different time would have felt the same, but for me it just completely took me away from that awful time. It was the worst year of my life, and I read that book and it completely saved me from my own mental health for the time I was reading it, so I'm always very grateful for that book.
Cute.
What about you?
I know, again, this is probably like one of those answers that you're probably like, oh, really? But I'm going to have to say maybe Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And I've got reasons. Yeah, really. I've got reasons. One of them is because it's the first book that I ever text my friends and said, I can't come out, I'm sick. Because I wanted to finish it.
Yeah.
Because I was that drawn in it. I just completely forgot where I was when I was reading that book. I loved it so much. It's the first fantasy book that I read in one sitting. If I went back and read it now, I would probably be like, it's fine. But back then when I was reading it, like, I was absorbed. Yeah, I would have to say that.
I love it when you get a book like that. Someone's in disbelief over your 31 copies. This is so many copies.
Want to see? We'll show them. There you go.
That is a lot.
They're all.
You can have them in like a glass shelf when you move out.
Yeah, I mean, if someone wants to buy me the there's a first edition of Scott F. Fitzgerald's Great Gatsby book somewhere on the internet. I think it's like 12 grand or something, and it's only £2.50 shipping. So if you want to get me that, that's fine.
You'd expect it to be free shipping.
I would expect it to be free shipping. I'm only spending like 12 grand on a book. It's signed as well.
I feel like I would have to say character because I have met a few of my favorite authors, so I would say meet my favorite character, because how cool would that be? I don't know who that would be. I'd have to really think about who my favorite character ever was or who I'd want to meet, but
I'm trying to think logically about this, because if you ever asked me like what fictional character would I want to meet, I would want to meet Arcturus from the Bone Season, because I would just be like, oh. But I wouldn't really speak to him because I would be a bit starstruck. I would be like, so I think who I would want to actually meet, and right away my mind always goes to Audrey Rose from Stalking Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
I just think she's...
Are we going to meet the author's version as they are in the author's head, or as they are in our head?
Interesting. I don't know. I feel, well, the thing is I've seen a lot of fan art which Kerry Maniscalco has like been like, oh my god, this is perfect kind of thing, and it is pretty close to how I would imagine Audrey Rose. But I think she's amazing, because like the fact that like as soon as Stalking Jack the Ripper like starts, literally the first page is Audrey Rose reaching into the corpse of a person because she's trying to become a what's it called? Not a forensic scientist, a mortician. Is that mortician?
A forensic scientist and morticians are two different people.
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
scientist would be like investigating the scene and the like.
Yeah, basically she's the person that like looks into the murdered person's body to find out the cause of death and stuff. I can't remember what it's called. And I just love that that's the first part, in the fact that
pathologist. Is that it? Pathologist.
Possibly. I don't know.
Or is that no? Wait, what's dinosaurs? Paleontologist. It's pathologist.
I love the fact that in a time where society expected women to be like, go to tea parties and find a husband by the time you're 18, it's like she's like going around trying to basically follow her dream, which is solve murders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She, like when it comes to tea parties, she's like, ugh, like she's a queen. She honestly is.
She's a good feminist lead, actually, isn't she?
There's an Arcturus in Summoner 2. I love him very much, and he's one of my favorite characters. But I literally love. Interesting. Arcturus is the name of a star, so well, it's actually a sun, but it's a big star.
Okay.
It's right above the Virgo constellation.
Does anyone else have any other questions for us as well, or assumptions, or do you know what we should have done, but I don't know how we could do it? Have you ever done a scavenger hunt through video call? Because my god, they're stupid. I've done them with work.
We did one on Instagram stories, did we not?
No, that's a bookish scavenger hunt. I mean, like, if someone's like, go and get some, like, you know, people just list things that you'd have around you and you have to go and get them. It's obscenely difficult because you live in one bedroom as well, which might make it a little bit more tricky for you.
Yes.
And you're also in a house and I'm in a flat. This is an interesting question. If you could pick two authors to co-write a series, who would you pick?
Kerry Maniscalco and Stephanie Carver. I think they would write something really, really magical.
Carlos Ruiz Zafón and Victoria Schwab would write something amazing. It would be so good. It would be mysterious and magical and beautiful. I've decided.
He died though.
Yeah, I know, but this is a fantasy situation. Okay, don't be picky.
I did see earlier, Amy says, you don't know who I am. Rude. Of course I know who you are, Amy. You're like my favorite person. You're like my favorite work colleague. I love you.
Is there a particular language you would love to speak and or read so you could read a book you really want, but which is currently unavailable in your country? I think we're quite lucky in that obviously we get a lot of the books that everyone talks about, so I don't really know of any that I think, oh, I'd love to read that, but it's not available in my language. I would love to either speak Japanese because I'd love to go to Japan and understand what it said, But for more like the realistic thing, I think maybe French, because I already know a bit of French from my school days, such as Où est la bibliothèque, where is the library? But I feel like that's quite a good universal one to know when you live in England. Not a universal, because when you live in further away countries, it's probably not as relevant, but you know, it's cool.
I feel like so I really want to learn how to speak Japanese. And I've started getting into it again. Like I kind of dip in and out of trying to learn it. But I watch anime quite a lot. I would love to be able to watch an anime without any subtitles. Like just watch it and understand everything they're saying. But the funny thing is I watch so much, I've picked up certain words. So like if like a character went over to another character and was like "Esquidayo," I would be like, my heart, you love them, kind of thing. Or like if they were like "Itakimasu," I would be like, okay, you're ready to eat, kind of thing. So I don't think I would want to learn a language necessarily to read a book in that language. It would be more to watch something in that language, I think, because there's obviously like there's a lot of French movies as well that I would love to like check out.
Yeah, that would be really cool for that aspect of it. Yeah, to not have to read the subtitles when you're watching something.
Paige Mahoney.
I would maybe go with someone that can fly because I just think that would be the coolest experience. I don't know who that would be.
I'm saying Paige Mahoney. Honestly, I think I would rather be Audrey Rose from the Stalking to the Ripper series. She is so intelligent. I would love to be her.
I was going to say someone with a massive brain would be very cool.
Well, no, and she's like, I love her. She's just the best.
Is it Tane in The Pride of the Orange Tree that rides the dragons? Is that who that is? Yes. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like her.
Maybe her.
Just hurt my eye.
What's your favourite bookshop?
We only have Waterstones here.
When I take you to Bath, we will go to all the amazing indies, but there's Mr. B's Bookish Emporium, which is amazing. And Toppings, also amazing. And Persephone Books is moving to Bath.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
So Bath's going to have a really good set of indie bookstores. I mean, I say Waterstones because that's my local, but like Bath has some really lovely ones. Mr. B's Bookish Emporium is just amazing.
We have like Waterstones, but then we have like Oxfam charity shops and stuff like that. But I would obviously consider that like a charity shop, not a bookstore.
Yeah.
We obviously in Edinburgh we have things like Blackwell's and stuff like that. But I'm in Glasgow, and literally the only bookstore is Waterstones. We do have the biggest Waterstones in Scotland though, so that's pretty cool.
There's a Toppings in Edinburgh as well, I think.
Oh, I've never been.
Oh, you should. Toppings is beautiful.
I've been to Blackwell's a couple of times though.
Lauren doesn't watch film and TV anymore. She just watches GTA streams.
Sure. TV is dead to me.
My favorite film. Okay, I say this with a pinch of salt because it's just kind of always been my favorite film, and I probably do need to update it. I always used to say Memoirs of a Geisha, and I just don't know anymore if that is still my favorite film or if I've grown out of it. I don't know, but I love that. And then TV series. I totally flip with whatever I'm watching at the moment, but Desperate Housewives, watch with my family, amazing. Stranger Things, American Horror Story, great. Lauren?
Sorry, I didn't answer this question. I only watched GTA 5.
Lauren said to me the other day, she's like, I'm not going to watch any TV anymore. I'm just going to watch GTA.
Right. To give you all a little bit of like context here, I enjoy watching Twitch game streams. And I used to play GTA Vice City when I was younger a lot. And I recently got a gaming computer so I could like play The Sims and stuff, because The Sims has always been like a happy place. And I recently downloaded GTA 5 and I was like, oh, I want to watch some gameplay. Just so happened to stumble on something called GTA 5 Online, which is hysterical. It's it's just the funniest thing because it's literally just like this massive world where people have their avatars running around robbing banks and stuff, and it's the most hysterical, dramatic thing. It's like Gossip Girl, but real life. And I find it highly amusing. But my favourite films, Lord of the Rings movies. Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm one of those people who can sit down and watch the extended editions and not get bored, not get restless or anything. I can watch all the extended editions easy without getting bored.
In a row?
Mm-hmm.
You can watch all 3 of them in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I know what we'll do when you come down here.
If you don't
Copious amounts of popcorn and takeaway. Oh my God, that's actually a great night.
Yeah.
I did a drinking game, I think for the second one, and we actually had to stop drinking or stop watching it because of how silly it was. Every time Frodo did something stupid or pulled that face that he pulls, we took a drink. Like, you know, the pained face. Yeah, we took a drink, and it was the second one, and we were just an idiot. He's such a twat.
Someone told me I looked like Frodo once. I was like, oh my God. And so much.
Oh God, no, you don't look like Frodo. You definitely don't. We have a Ghibli fan.
Howl's Moving Castle, yeah. I love it.
I won't go near Studio Ghibli after Spirited Away terrifies me beyond belief.
Yeah, I liked Snow White with the red hair, but I kind of get bored halfway through. I'll go back and finish it at some point. It wasn't my favourite. I guess if I'm talking about TV shows, I can also mention anime. So tune out, Beth. I'm going to be here a while.
No, I'll mute you.
Rin. So like TV show wise, I've always loved Supernatural though. Like Supernatural is a TV show I've been watching for years. Friends as well is one that I loved. Gossip Girl. Beth is going to try and get me to watch 90210 soon, so we'll see how that goes.
Addictive, but must be taken with a pinch of salt. Incredibly objective of women. Also, yeah, I can only watch the extended as well. There's no other way now.
Same. I love New Girl as well. I don't know. I can't think of a TV show that I actually like. I properly. Wait, Witcher. The Witcher is like my current favorite.
WandaVision.
Yeah, WandaVision. Mm-hmm.
Very good point. Yeah.
For Francesca, who says anime though, Naruto is my favorite TV show anime, which yes, amazing. Yuri on Ice is amazing. Oh my God. Never seen Grave of the Fireflies.
No, I just read that as Firefly to start with, but now I see that there's another word. That's a nice name, though. Word name. Dad
calls anime cartoon. Yep, same here. My dad's like, "Why are you watching cartoons?" I'm like, "It's not cartoons. It's a $1 billion industry. Like it's not cartoons."
I will finish watching Tokyo Ghoul at some point. I will.
Tokyo Ghoul's really good. I really, really enjoyed season 3, but I think season 2 is maybe my favorite. I think you would like Yuri on Ice, Beth.
What's it about? I assume it's about Yuri on ice.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's basically this guy called Yuri who wants to be a pro skater, and he competes all the time, but he just never really gets anywhere. And then one day he puts up like this video of him, of him skating, and his idol sees, and as his idol decides to come and train him, and basically as they're training him, they fall in love with each other, and it's really cute. Okay. It's like one of those things where it's like it's not. Do you know something? I'll talk about it later with you because I could go into so much. But there's one. The theme song is so good. The theme song is so good. There's one thing a character says, and I don't want to say it on your live because PG.
What do they say? We can swear. We can swear on the live. We're not PG here. We're in our 20s.
It's not swearing.
What is it?
It's like a sexual thing.
So?
I'm going to text it to you. I'm going to text it to you.
So I have to say it out loud?
You don't have to say it out loud. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, warning. There may be apparently a sexual thing coming to my phone. Haha. Play on words. Okay, what the hell is this going to be? Okay. He said, she's just going to say, he says. There's no follow-up to that. He enjoys his skating so much, he says, oh, I'm going to come. Hang on. Do you all remember the earlier in the live when Lauren was like, I have no filters, I will say anything.
I thought you wanted to keep your lives PG.
No, I've never said I want to keep my lives PG. We can be...
Okay, well, yeah, that's essentially what he says, because he's like skating about and he's like really getting into the music and stuff, and like for some reason you have a good few zoom ins on his bum and you're just like, okay, and then he's like, he stops, he goes, oh, good to come. It's so stupid.
Oh my god, amazing.
He says it twice. It's so funny.
I don't know why that's reminding me, but have you seen the two slices of bread, the cartoon, where they're like right up against each other and one of them says, I'm gonna crumb? I don't know why it makes me so happy, but it does.
Honest to God, it's so funny. And then there's like one of my favorite scenes is like Yuri drunk and he's like grinding against Victor and he's like, you're gonna come and teach me how to ice skate, and he's like it's so funny.
Okay, there we go, everyone. Yuri on Ice recommendation of anime from several people, including Lauren of Fiction Tea.
It's so good. Don't get me started on anime, guys. Like, don't. You'll be here.
We won't.
You won't. They will.
You won't, guys. Well, you don't get us started on anime. Just don't do it. Sometimes I have 5 to 10 minute voice messages on anime or GTA just telling me about something that's happened, and she's just going into such detail, and I'm just like putting away my washing, listening to it. I'm like, okay, mate. All right.
Like, if you don't want them, like, I ran High School Host Club. Yes! So good. So good. What did I join it?
Inappropriate talk. It's not inappropriate. No, I'm not going to say that. Anime that is saucy. Saucy's okay. We can say saucy, can't we?
What?
Michelle.
Are you kidding me on?
What?
Big Licks has introduced a waffle on a stick.
A waffle on a stick?
Yeah.
Wait, with stuff on it, because that would be messy.
Hold on, I'll show you a picture. For context, Big Licks is a dessert shop in Glasgow, which is amazing. And I took Beth there when she came to Glasgow, and she was like, what was it you were like? You were like, oh, I'm not really sure what I'm feeling. I'm not really sure if I want a dessert. And then my cookie dough came, and you were like, oh my god.
We've been to pizza. We'd had pizza beforehand, and we had like garlic bread and pizza, and then we went to this place, and it was normally what I would have for dinner. Not that I would normally eat that kind of thing for dinner, but like, you know, size wise. And yeah, I think I got a waffle because I thought that would be like the least or a crepe maybe. And then you got this amazing cookie dough thing, and I was just like, I felt like you were like my mum in the end because you let me have some of it.
I got Kinder cookie dough with Nutella and a large raspberry ripple milkshake.
Do you know what? I can literally get that order to me right now. The Kinder Bueno cookie dough cookie thing. It's available here in our Big Licks. It's not a Big Licks, but it's called Sunday Gelato.
Okay, this is what it looks like.
Oh, I've seen those. Yes, that looks good. Oh, okay, I'm 2 days into eating well to fit into this wedding dress.
Blame Amy Garvey, who's in the chat. She's the one who sent it.
Fine. Also, I'm not getting married. That made it sound like I was getting married. I'm a maid of honor. I have to fit into a dress, and it's just post lockdown.
Amy says, I've heard so much about anime for someone who doesn't watch it. I feel sorry for Amy. She has to do
Amy, same.
We can be friends.
Someone
Anyone who watches anime is my friend. And to be honest, the more friends I have, then the less need I'll have for Beth, who doesn't listen to me when it comes to anime. So,
I'm sorry, I listen to you for everything else apart from anime and GTA. I kind of just zone out and then forget. Sometimes when you send me a voice message about GTA and you're like, and then they got run over and then they got kidnapped and they drove away with them and I forget you're talking about GTA. And I'm just like, what? This actually happened? And I'm like, no.
It technically did actually happen, but just virtually.
I mean, I know we're meeting virtually right now, but
the other night, the girl actually got kidnapped. Like some guy hit her with a motorbike and he carried her onto his motorbike.
Virtually.
Yeah, virtually. And then he took her to the hospital. She got resuscitated.
Thanks, Francesca. Wait, they can actually die?
You die, but you respawn after 300 seconds. And when you get caught and you get put in jail, so let's say you're put in jail for 19 months, you're in jail for 19 minutes.
Oh, that's boring. Whereas Call of Duty, you just respawn after 5 seconds, so that's fun for me.
I'm never going to play Call of Duty.
You will when you come here. I'll put it into your hands and make you. I'm going to make you a Call of Duty god after 2 weeks here.
I'm going to play GTA.
Anyway, oh my god, I'm so sorry for how squeaky my chair is.
It's really, really annoying. Really.
Can you hear it quite loudly?
Yeah, it's really grinding my gears.
That is really hard to do. Like, that's not the easiest. Try and get your elbows to actually meet. It's not. If anyone takes a screenshot of this, is that.
Wow.
I was about to say something. I forgot what it was.
Oh my god, you really see the blonde in my hair right now. Look at that.
Oh, look at it. It's like you just got it done today. Did they curl it for you, or did you do the curls?
They did the curls.
We?
They did the curls.
Oh, they did the curls.
I was
going to say, do you have any questions on your Instagram story?
yeah. I forgot what they are.
I really want a cookie now. No. Like my issue.
I can't get over to Big Licks. There's no way for me to get. Well, there is.
I can get delivery of the cookie. My issue, basically, guys, for quick context, is that my friend's getting married in August. Except she was meant to be getting married last September, and I was ready for that dress last September that I tried on and that fit me great. And then we did this thing called lockdown, and now it doesn't fit me anymore. So I'm like, oh shit! I have the dress fitting in May. Which is now, that's May. We're in May. Oh, God.
Wait, is it not the end of May, though?
The 29th. It's the 29th of May. It's a terrifying prospect. Why do people get married?
For many reasons.
I read this and thought you meant my legs.
Your legs.
My pins. Yeah, thank you. I don't know how they're staying up. They're on a command hook. And that is every pin ever I own, so I don't know how. Why can't I point? Oh my god, mirror is so confusing. There. I don't know how they're staying up there. But thank you.
So I've got.
Thanks. This makes me feel much better. I think you'll eat the cookie for me. Thank you. Go.
She does have this. I'm being a very bad friend, and I'm sitting here with like Gillians and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so good. And
I kind of have to have it. Like I don't have a choice. Like I'm the maid of honor. I have to fit the dress.
Okay, so first one is the book that was hardest to find. So I'm assuming like a book on your bookshelf that was the hardest for you to get hold of.
The mime order was not easy to get hold of.
I was going to say the Song Rising, but you've still not got that.
No, the Song Rising is even more difficult to get hold of because I do not yet have it in hardback. The old hardback cover.
I want to say either the Night Circus UK hardcover or Song of Achilles hardcover. I had to get secondhand copies for both of them, but I got very lucky. I got really lucky with the Song of Achilles one because that came signed. It was dedicated. That's why it was so cheap. It was dedicated to someone named India or something. I was like, guys, from now on, I am called India.
Works. Katie Hopkins' daughter called India. Maybe it was from her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I kind of got lucky with those.
I have had this issue, and just quickly talking about this and some body positivity, I've seen so many things at the moment that say your clothes. Oh, no, what was it? You are not made to fit your clothes are made to fit you. So like ultimately it doesn't matter what number it says. It's just like I've seen people buy clothes like jeans from all different shops that are in the same size and then line them up against each other, and none of them are actually the same size. So you know, I've gone up a size on the bottom, and actually I'm so comfortable in my jeans now, and I'm not bursting out of them, and I just need to kind of accept that. So I think your clothes fit you, you don't need to fit them.
I did that too, and honestly, see, once I would just went up that jean size, I was so much more willing to put on a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
Like, I was just so much more comfy.
Yeah, totally.
And,
Yeah, I wouldn't wear jeans, and I wanted to wear jeans. How did you get it, Paige?
you know, how did you
Where?
get it?
And did you pay 500 million pounds for it?
Wait, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. There.
Well, that was good mirror pointing. Well done.
Yee, thank you. Tickle.
I just cannot find the damn thing. Cannot find it.
A book that reminds you of a specific time in your life.
Daisy Jones and the Six reminds me of sitting outside the pool in an all-inclusive resort in Cyprus on my last abroad holiday with one of my best friends. That was great, and I enjoyed it very much. And I was reading that book. I read it in a day. So that.
I'm trying to remember. I think I read Stalking Jack the Ripper when I was in Cyprus. That kind of reminds me of that. No, do you know what? A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Even though I technically didn't read it until the January after you left, for some reason it reminds me of our trip to Edinburgh.
Oh, I was reading The Starless Sea for our trip to Edinburgh, so I associate that with that time because I was going to the event when I got back from it, so I had to have read it in time. Oh, before? I don't know. I had to have read it in time, basically.
We've answered that one already. What do you do for a job?
I am about to sneeze. No, it's gone.
It's a really good job. I hope you get paid well for it.
Yeah, really good. I am a social media manager, which is very thrilling. I manage, create, and run social media for clients, including graphics, videos, copy, campaigns, hashtags. It's thrill. It's mainly business to business. But the title sounds cool. What do you do?
I am customer service manager over at Fairyloot. I answer all your questions. If you have a question, I will go type and help you however I can.
Yay! Everyone go message her right now so she's got something to do on Monday.
It's the weekend. The weekend. Please don't. Like, no, happy to answer your messages whenever.
But what about if you could have any job in the world, what would it be?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say, actually, if you could have any job that is not like a writer or a freelance thing, like if you had like something else other than that, because I know the default answers are to say those things.
An art director in a publishing house. That was the plan until I got a job at Fairyloot. I would love to be able to have a say in what goes on the book cover, what the chapter title, like artwork is. If there's going to be a map, who we're going to hire to do the map. I would love to have a say in all the creative like parts of the book. And when I was studying graphic design, we learned how to design a book cover and stuff like that. So I really, really enjoyed that project. So that's what I would do. That was the plan.
Nice. That would be so cool. I would either be an interior designer or I would work abroad doing like conservation work and things like that to just do something good, but also be active because I just don't suit sitting at a desk. I really don't. I could do it if I was drawing and things or being an interior designer in that way, but yeah, no.
Someone said no sticker on the covers. Okay, so I seen something recently on TikTok where it was like someone who works in a publishing house. And they said they were talking about things that they don't like to do, but they have to do, and one of them is stickers on covers. Like, they cringe having to do it, but they have to because it's part of the marketing. But if you want rid of the stickers easily, just get a hairdryer, hold it on the sticker for a couple of seconds, and it peels right off. Easy peasy.
Unless it's the new Shadow and Bone ones with the Netflix sticker printed on them.
Yeah, they suck.
I think we'll have a couple more questions and then shall we round it off? Because I want to go take my makeup off.
Oh, sorry, we're going against your schedule. That's fine.
I don't know schedule that bloody much. I don't schedule my days like this. I only schedule my work days.
I've got a question for you.
Go on.
What is a book that everyone is obsessed with that you don't get?
I could name a few.
For it.
The Cruel Prince, The Mortal Instruments, The Hating Game. A lot of people seem to like, and I don't. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I read one recently that everyone's meant to have loved, and I just thought it was okay. Hang on. Where's my core pile? Oh, A Little Life.
Oh, you didn't like that?
It was. I knew it was really miserable, but I just felt it was just too miserable. There was nothing compelling about it. I didn't feel intrigued. I didn't enjoy it at any point. I never wanted to pick it up.
Amy just put a very controversial answer in there.
I agree. I agree. It was disappointing. It was too. It was like she ran out of stuff to talk about, so she was like, "I'm just going to put a million sex scenes in and not actually have a plot."
I will disagree with you. I do agree in the sense that it wasn't as. I mean, I enjoyed it as well as much as I did like A Court of Mist and Fury. I thought there was parts that could have been shorter. There was parts that didn't need to be included. I will agree with that. But I resonated with Nesta a lot, more than any other character I've ever read about.
I think she was well written.
Really, we had her sassy student this morning.
she was flawed, and I liked that she was flawed. But ultimately, looking back on it, I just feel like there wasn't a plot, and the plot was kind of thrown as an afterthought, and it was just very much like sex, which I'm fine with. But it was the same sex scene over and over again. There was never much variation to it. I liked it, but I felt massively let down by it.
They should have left in that friggin' threesome. I would have to say for me, personally, and I know a lot of people are going to not like me for this, but Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I don't get it. Now, saying this, I enjoyed the TV show. I loved the TV show, but I thought the TV show was better than the book Six of Crows wise. I love the Grisha trilogy, but I don't get it with Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I didn't click with it.
Fair. Yeah, I haven't read
Crooked Kingdom. It was like a solid 3 stars, but like it's
I felt the same with Six of Crows, but I will reread it. But I haven't read Crooked Kingdom yet. I will get there, but I just haven't ever picked it up.
I mean, and you saw how long it took me to read the audiobook for that.
Yeah, see, now I've got the other Shadow and Bone books. I think I'm going to take part in a readathon next month, so I might just throw them in there somehow.
Someone says, my mum watched episode 1 of Shadow and Bone and told me she hated it. A part of me died. Yeah, my sister did the same, but she didn't even finish the episode. She was like, I hate it. And I was
just not watched it at all. I think I said to you, didn't I, Lauren, that my friend, so my best friend at home here, she reads like as much as I do, but she doesn't read any YA. And she messaged me, she was like, oh my god, Beth, there's this really great TV show on Netflix called Shadow and Bone, you should totally watch it. And I was just like, okay. I'm waiting to read all the books before I watch it.
Amy says I need a bit of story with my smut. I can imagine her saying that.
This is why, so I read Meet Cute Club by Jack Hardbon, and that is it's enemies to lovers, but they're only enemies for about 30 pages. One of them owns a bookshop, one of them runs a book club, and they kind of end up hooking up. And literally the whole book is just smut. I mean, I had to put it in a video recently for reasons that if you watch the video will become clear. And I just don't know how to describe it anymore because I'm like, it's just sex. There's not really a plot. It's just a lot of sex, which is fine. But I need a plot. Otherwise, it might as well just be 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, true.
Which has a plot, actually.
Speaking of books, what was the last book you read, right? The last book. The book you're currently reading, and then the next book. So like past, present, future.
Okay, the last book I finished was The Dinner Guest by someone that I can't even remember, WP something or other. Immensely disappointing.
Oh, by the way,
Immensely.
everyone in the comments, tell me theirs as well, because I want to know your past, present, and future read.
So that one came out as 3 stars, although now I think about it, it's more like 2. It was so bad. Like, it was a mystery in which there's 4 characters. One of them is the dead person. One of them is the person that's admitted to the crime on page 1, but on page 1 it's also said that they didn't actually do it. And then you've got 2 other characters. And like those are the ones on the blurb of the book that you meet. It's just so limiting. And then the book that I'm currently reading, Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth, of course. And the book I'm going to be reading next. God, I don't know. Give me time to think about it. You go.
So the last book that I read was End of Days by Susan E. Because I started the Angel Fall books when I was a teenager, and I just never read the last one. My current read is a manga called Given. Why is my Google Home listening to me? Okay. And a manga called Given, because I'm wanting to rewatch the anime for it, so I'm reading the manga. My present book, my future book, I'm really feeling a contemporary, but I got this book recently. It's called The Immortal City.
Oh, the weirdly small book.
Yeah, it's really small. It's like,
that's really narrow, isn't it?
It's really narrow. It's definitely going to be one of those books where I just need to open it and just be like, I don't like breaking spines on books. I hate it, but it's going to have to be one of them. I can't even say the author's name. Like, that's their surname. I can't even say it.
Amy Kuvalainen.
But
where's
yeah,
she from? Does it say?
I have no idea, but it's set in Venice, which is funny enough. And it's about a doctor who has been summoned to Venice to find a killer. And apparently there's magicians in it, sexy magicians, and apparently it's got spice. Apparently it's got a chili in it, a spicy chili. So I'm keen. Someone said, Rocket Reed says she read Die For Me recently. I love Die For Me. Die For Me is another classic book. If we're still thinking about the same book, that is. Die For Me by Amy Plum.
Cute name. I don't know what I'm going to read next.
I'm in the mood for a contemporary, though. Like, you know how that one I was talking to you about, you and Connie about, like, the X Talk?
What?
The X Talk? And it's like the cover, it's like a microphone, and it's a woman and a man speaking into it, and it's like they have like a podcast or something. They're talking about relationships and something. Obviously, as they're talking about relationships and getting snappy with each other, they end up like, falling in love or something. That's kind of appealing to me, but I'm not entirely sure.
The Road Trip is out now by Beth O'Leary, because you read The Flatshare, haven't you?
I read The Flatshare in a couple of hours, not only a day, a couple of hours.
Yeah, The Road Trip by her is out now, which is new. That came out this week, I think, or last week.
I still want to read the second book she wrote. I've not read that yet.
The Switch.
Was that good?
I haven't actually read that one yet, but I also want to.
I'll need to look up the road trip. I've not looked up the premise. I mean, I'm assuming it's about a road trip.
It's there are 2 girls going to a wedding, and the main girl is called Addie, and basically 2 guys are also going to the wedding. One of them is Addie's ex-boyfriend, and their car breaks down, the guys, so they have to get in the car with the girls, and it's their road trip to said wedding when they actually are exes with each other.
I don't really like that, like the exes, like they've already been together. I like the discovering the new person.
I'm intrigued to see how I find it, because I don't know how I feel about those kind of storylines with exes and stuff, but I feel like it's been really good. I don't know what to read next. I don't know why I'm looking in here. These are like the books that I'm not going to read next, or my feminist shelf.
I'm also reading on my Kindle right now as well, so like I kind of want to pick up a physical book next.
Yeah, I'm just going to be reading this for so long. I need to go and just sit down and really read this, don't I? I'm not very far in. Like,
I really like the cover. It's a very intriguing cover. It's kind of like, oh my god, who designed that? Me?
Okay. Well, oh, you can't see it's too overexposed. Fiction tea.
Yeah. I really want to read We Hunt the Flame as well. There's just Hafsa Fizal has been teasing little bits about her new book, Tempest of Tea or something, and for some reason it's just got me really, really wanting to read her books. So managed to find a hardcover of the first book on eBay, so I got that, and then I got the second one on Book Depository, and I'm really keen to read her books soon, which will make our friend Connie very happy because she loves those books. Lauren, let's buddy read We Hunt the Flame. I'm busy watching DTA streams. Okay.
I am so bad at buddy reading.
You can't buddy read with Amy. You can't buddy read.
What, me?
Impossible. No, like, you cannot buddy read with Amy Garvey because she picks up a book and she's finished it in 10 seconds, and I pick up a book and I finish it next year.
I just can't buddy read. Like, so many people, I'm so sorry if anyone's ever asked me to buddy read. I just can't do it. It doesn't appeal to me. I think it would be too constricting. Like, if I want to sit down and read, I don't want to have to read to a certain point and then stop. I could read something if Lauren and I were like, oh, let's read this at the same time so we can discuss it. I could do that. But like we kind of did that with Crescent City.
Manga.
Yes, we could do that.
Would you?
No.
I try, but I get too excited. Yeah, we know.
Does anyone have any final questiones?
I love how we kind of said there was going to be content creation. We've not anything about content creation.
Oh, shit. We did answer a bit. Keep at it, put the hours in, and you'll get the results. I hit 40k on Instagram. That was exciting. Yay. Thank you, everyone.
Something interesting that's popped up on Instagram recently from me, it keeps on suggesting it to me, is Instagram, you can now make money on lives.
Yes, with the badges or something.
Mm-hmm.
So people can,
which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
I would never, just to be clear, I would never expect anyone to donate money to me on a live, but I just think that's a very cool way. Like, if their only income is being an influencer, it's that Bone Season lassie that I like.
Hey, Ashley.
I would never expect anyone to donate money to me on a live, but I think it's a really cool way for influencers to possibly make money if that is their only source of income.
Interesting. Yeah, it's weird because it's like a little badge thing, I think. I've only seen it advertised, but Twitter are now changing their platform so you can have a creator account or a business account, and it allows you to have like super users. Mm-hmm. So you could pay to become a super user of someone's account, and it's like Patreon almost, which worries me because it's like almost too many platforms doing the same thing now. But it so essentially allows you to pay to get extra content from someone specifically on Twitter, which is kind of strange. Yeah, I could see these companies are all going to like get money from ad revenue, but these kind of additional extras, I don't know. Like, the point is they're free anyway, so
come pay me to not tweet. Yeah. Or come pay me to tweet about anime once every 2 weeks. I've been really always for it. I don't know why.
I've had tweets, a tweet going out every day since like 2018, I think.
You've not tweeted about me recently. It's very disappointing.
I actually tweeted about you today because we're doing this live show.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
See? Oh, hang on. There's highs going on.
Hi. Hey everyone.
Everyone say hey to Ashley.
Hey Ashley.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, we haven't spoken about content creation at all, really, have we? We've just spoken all about books, and I'm still having
let's do Google. Why are you listening to me? I'm not seeing anything of value to you right now.
I did a video where I was talking about something to do with Alexa, and she just started talking in the background. Don't. She just started talking in the background. I whispered your name. Shh.
Alexa, tell us a joke.
baking competition. The final was a piece of cake.
Did you hear that?
No.
I just entered a baking competition. The final was a piece of cake.
I feel
so
like Google
bad.
has better jokes.
This, yes, I think you're right, Ashley, with Twitter doing it. This is the thing, it is basically Patreon. It's difficult because when there's too many channels, it's difficult to know where to support people as well, like who has what available. Because like I set up a Patreon a couple of months ago, and like I'm running it still now and absolutely love it. But I wouldn't want to feel like I would have to switch to a different platform because I've already established everything there.
If I was ever going to create, I'm sorry, Andrew, sorry. If I was ever going
Millions of them go out across the world.
If I was ever going to make a Patreon, I would actually do it on Patreon.
Yeah.
Which, like, do you know something? Patreon kind of blows my mind sometimes. Like, I know that people can legit make a living off of the money they make on Patreon, which is insane. But I was telling Beth this recently. I like playing The Sims, and one of the things I like to do is download custom content only for builds, not create a sim or anything, just for builds. No, anything like that. It has to be like Maxis Match and everything. But Maxis Match is a little bit harder for people to create, so they take some more time and they make a Patreon and they give people on their Patreon early access for it, right? Now, there's this guy who makes custom content and he earns $7,000 a month from making Sims content. Like, the dream.
Oh my gosh.
I know, and the thing is like he's getting used currently by like people who are on like YouTube playing Sims, and they're like promoting his custom content and stuff. So that's only going to get bigger, and that just
$7,000 a month. That is.
It's over $7,000. It's like it's $7,600 that he makes a month.
It's insane because essentially Patreon is there for people to be able to support people and like not necessarily get anything back out of it, but then like, you know, as they do and as I do and as lots of people do, you are giving people extra content for being part of your Patreon. Like I do things like I think my favorite thing that I do is the podcast that I make for my Patreons, because that is like purely just for my Patreons and you get the podcast episode, and like that's something that I do because they support me. But yeah, it's insane how it works and how people can get there. $7,000.
Yeah.
Someone used to be a butcher when I was 2K on Patreon. For me, like, if I could get to that stage, I would be able to just quit my job on top of the other stuff that I would be earning from with ad revenue and stuff. And that would be amazing, because I kind of, to live the dream and to live what I want to do, to not be working full time in my job would be able to enable me to do those other jobs that wouldn't cover my mortgage and stuff. Like, I would love to be a sex ed teacher. And if I
would be a really good sex ed teacher,
I would be a great sex
ed teacher.
So if I was able to supplement myself and not have to work full time in my job that I do currently, I could go and do those other things without having to worry about, but I still need to pay a mortgage.
If I ever have kids, I'm like, and they get to that age, send them to Beth's School of Sex Ed.
My friend who's just had a child has been like, you're doing sex ed for them. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that is so, it's amazing, isn't it, that we can be creators and get an income from it and people can support in these kind of ways. I think that's so cool that that's something that can be done, because it just enables so many other lifestyles to be lived. And I think it kind of breaks the taboo of, not the taboo, but the norm of the kind of jobs you think you have to have.
Yeah. Like, I quite like having, I think I would get I think I would put myself in a corner very easily of like, which lockdown has essentially done for me anyway, of like living in my pajamas, staying at home and being a bit lazy most of the time. I'm not motivated enough to have Patreon as like a main income, whereas you're very strict with your schedule. If you want to get something done, you get something done. And I think me having a, like, I don't know. Yeah.
That's why I felt comfortable doing things, and also not my Patreon specifically, but why I was able to move, because my Books Nest income would supplement the costs for me. Sorry, what were you saying?
yeah, I think having a job, the thing is having a job suits me, but it has to be a job that I'm comfortable in. Like, I worked at the spicy chicken place. Not bad. I was never someone with anxiety ever. I left like university, graduated, like, and stuff like that, went to work at the spicy chicken place, and my mental health plummeted within months. And I was never someone who had panic attacks. I was never someone who had anxiety or anything like that. But then I started working with Fairy Loot, and having been able to work from the comfort of my own home, but still have that strict, like, work time is really good for me. So it's almost as a bit of both.
If you won the lottery, would you still work?
Yeah, because I like my job.
You won millions, you would, because my motivation is to get paid. Whereas if I didn't need to get paid,
I still would. I mean, yeah, I enjoy my job enough to I would still work.
Yeah.
But like, it would be different, right? In the sense, like, you won $1 million, right? You've just won money. You've not done anything for it. But let's say you became a writer, and to sustain the amount of money you need to keep on writing, then yes, maybe then. But like, winning $1 million, I've just kind of won $1 million. I'm like, yeah, great, I've got $1 million, but I'm going to still make more money and continue a job that I enjoy.
Fair, yeah. I think Ashley is exactly right here. People don't realize how much it can help with things like Patreon and things like just watching an ad on someone's YouTube video, or swiping up on the ad that they've put on their story on Instagram, or liking the ad on their feed. All of these things enable content creators to get one step closer. And like, it's such a small thing, but you know, like, my lowest tier on my Patreon is £2.50, and for that you get like the behind the scenes feed of my Patreon, and that's like my starter tier. That £2.50 might be a coffee or something, but for me, it's one step closer, and motivation and potential to live that dream life, and it just makes me feel so excited every time someone signs up.
Whenever I see someone doing ads, so like, for example, whenever Beth is doing an ad, right, on her Instagram, Beth is like, she'll post an ad or something like that, and she's like, by the way, I've posted an ad, and I'll be like, I've already swiped up. Whenever I see someone doing an ad, I always swipe up. It takes 2 seconds. One time I have actually bought a book that I've been interested in, so it's not a total loss. It's just swipe up. It helps immensely.
Yeah. And the likes, I mean, I put up an ad a couple of days ago, and like, anything likes on that, I'm like, thank you so much. Like, it just shows support. It takes 2 seconds. Laura, I know you've answered this already, but can you pop your answer in again?
I am customer service manager over at Fairy Loot, so I answer all the questions you have about Fairy Loot boxes and your orders.
I think this maybe is why I would quit my day job if I won the lottery, because I'd still work on Booksnest, so I would still have that designated work.
I wouldn't give up Fiction Tea for anything.
No, I wouldn't. If someone offered to buy Booksnest off of me like last year or something, or the year before, and pay X amount of money, and I was like, no, like, I don't want to sell it to you, because the minute you buy it, it's going to become whatever you want to change the Instagram to. You'll delete all my posts. Like, I would never ever trade it, ever.
It's not only like that. It's like, if you didn't have Booksnest, you wouldn't be where you are today. I wouldn't be where I am today without Fiction Tea.
I can't believe how much it's grown me. Like, when I think about even in the past 2 years or so, it's just huge how much it's kind of shaped me, and how I've got my jobs. My past 3 jobs I've got because of Booksnest, which has you know, when you look at the jobs within marketing and things specifically, and it says you have to have X years of experience.
Yeah.
Booksnest is X years of experience for me. I mean, I now have worked in the industry for 5 or 6 years anyway, but that was my experience before I had any experience.
I got even though I've been doing Fiction Tea for, 2-3 years, I got rejected from a certain bookstore in the UK.
Aww.
They said I wasn't experienced enough, and I was like, are you fucking serious? I was like, are you serious? But it's fine. I worked at Spicy Chicken Place, where I wasn't qualified for, so.
Good luck, Francesca.
Good luck. Sending all good vibes. I've got all my jobs through Booktube one way or another.
I mean, yeah, when I first started So I got a marketing job straight out of uni because I could show that I had my own socials I managed. Then I worked in Waterstones because, again, same thing. And then I got a job at an air ambulance doing their marketing. And then now I'm working where I'm in a marketing agency. And all the way I've been like, look at this account. And my current job, use my account to get clients. Like they basically, when it's relevant, they sell me into certain clients to be like, look what Beth can do. This is the account she's got. I don't love that they do that.
But it proves their point that you're good at what you do.
Yeah, because it's like it's literal evidence. I have not only just grown clients' accounts, but I've done it for myself too, and have a fairly decent following, like particularly on Instagram. So I don't think there's any limit on how much you can gain from having these accounts and from running these kind of things. It can help so much. Sorry, the chair's going to squeak. You ready for it?
Yep. It doesn't squeak, it just sounds like a scrape.
It's a horrible noise. It really annoys me. Again, another reason why I want a different chair.
So Amy, who was in the chat earlier, I don't know if she's still here, she's got both her jobs kind of through me, which is funny. She was like had the two jobs, and one of the first one was Big Licks, and we went to Big Licks one day with her group of friends, and I was like, Amy, you should apply for Big Licks because there was a thing in the door saying help wanted. I was like, apply for Big Licks, and she went, okay. Well, essentially, like, okay, and she did, and she got the job. And then her next job after that, I recommended her, and she got her job. So,
fair.
Isn't she lucky she met me?
See, seal the doors. Fiction tea is open for you and other people.
Oh, poor guy. Hey, lassie.
It's interesting. I like these kind of discussions, and I feel like it's always taboo as well as to like what our accounts have got us and things. It's like people feel like it's not something you're allowed to talk about, you're meant to talk about, because it's this big like secret thing to earn money and things like that.
I mean, I like got my job the same way other people. I had an interview. I had an interview process. I had a trial process. Like, just because you've got a following doesn't mean you get a fast track, if that makes sense. But it does help. It shows the fact that you can turn around and show that you've got an account with that amount of following. It shows you're motivated to do stuff that you're interested in. You work hard for what you got. Silly people to get.
Yeah. I do remember saying once at a book event to a friend a couple of years ago that I called Books Nest a job, and they said to me, well, it's not a job, is it? I was like, well, yeah, it's a full-time job. She was like, no, it's not, Beth, it's a hobby. And I have to do taxes, which, you know, obviously you wouldn't necessarily do taxes for a hobby, but I have to say how many hours I've spent on it. And it is literally a full-time thing. It's just, because if you think every time I'm on Instagram, I'm engaging, I'm replying, I'm doing all these things, and you know, the same with YouTube and vlogging every day and things like that as well. It's a lot.
Will we go to the 2-hour mark?
Yes. Should we stop at the 2-hour mark?
We can like hang around for like 3 more seconds if you want, but yeah.
Okay. All right. We will stop precisely at 2 hours and 3 seconds.
Okay. I've got a question actually for the chat. What should I watch after this?
TV?
I'm looking for like a one movie, not like Lord of the Rings or something.
What If? Which you did tell me you'd watch this weekend.
Did I? I thought it was last weekend I would watch it.
Oh, was it? Well, What If?
I'll keep it on. I'll keep it listed. I'm interested in watching that, but I'm not entirely sure. I might watch anime.
I know you'll like it if you liked Stuck in Love.
I might watch anime.
No, watch What If.
Yes, me. Yuri on Ice. I want to watch Yuri on Ice again so bad. I think I'll actually watch that again soon.
I'm going to read. It's going to happen. I'm going to read. Also, I'm really annoyed by this mark on the side of my book. It's really bugging me. I don't know why. I keep seeing it out the corner of my eye. I've tried to rub it out. It does not go. I want to read. I need to make progress on this book. So good.
Yuri on Ice. That is a suggestion. I might. But
I'm so bad at actually watching TV. I've been watching The Bold Type, which I think everyone should watch. The Bold Type is so good. It will make you want to progress.
Once I've finished it, like I don't like watching too many TV shows at the one time, and I do include anime as like a TV show. And I'm currently watching 3 different anime, so I want to finish one before I start another show. And that other show is either going to be 90210 or The Bold Type.
The Bold Type is less series, so you will watch that quicker. I think The Bold Type I really like. Hang on, 90210 does not empower women. The Bold Type does. Like 90210, I mean, it does, but it's just a bit. It's
I'm just
older.
looking for a good show, honestly.
90210 is a good shit show, but it's a good show. But it's also shit. Whereas The Bold Type is just really, really good. Also, yeah, this film is a simple film. It will make you very tense.
But the thing that worries me is you sent me a voice message and you were worried about the dog. And I
told you the result of whatever I was worried about those. So
did you?
Yep.
I can't remember. You're going to need to remind me.
Okay, I will when we're not on this.
Okay. Because I can't deal with that kind of stress. I don't know. I'm kind of, for some reason, I'm feeling Titanic again. I don't know if I can do that to myself.
You literally watched that like 2 weeks ago.
I know, but it's so good. So good. I love. I mean,
if you're gonna watch Titanic, you've got to watch What If after it, because that's too much of the same thing.
I don't know. I might. I'm watching. I'm currently watching an anime called Bungo Stray Dogs, and I'm halfway through season 2, so I might try and finish season 2 tonight, and then if I can finish season 2 tonight, I might watch What If afterwards.
I'll take that. I don't suffer from anxiety, so I wouldn't like to say, but it is a tense disaster end of world kind of film with giant insects that have taken over the world. It's kind of fascinating because you want to see what the giant insects look like, but it's as tense as something with the disaster film. It's as tense as a zombie film, for example.
They did that trailer very well though, because they didn't show you what the insects look like. It was just those. So you were like, I want to see what the big insects look like. Like
the megalodon or whatever it's called, the meg. You want to see how big the shark
is.
It's more silly. Yes, it is more silly than anything. I would agree. About Time is also stunning, and Love Rosie. If we're going to pop those,
I liked Love Rosie. I couldn't get into what is About Time. I don't know why. I couldn't get into that.
I loved About Time. It was so good.
Just like the Notebook. Can't get in it.
Oh, The Notebook. I always cry at The Notebook, and I watched it again a few years ago, and it was so boring in the middle from what I remembered it being, but I still cried. Good shout.
I'm going to go maybe give it there. Cool. I'm trying to think. What's the movie that has made you cry the hardest?
Oh God. Can I have a TV series, or do I have to have a movie?
I'm choosing an anime, just so you know.
Okay, so I have never cried as much as I cried. I can't even think about it in the last 2 WandaVision episodes, but also Avengers Endgame. If you're going to go down the film route, the last 2 WandaVision episodes. Even thinking about it makes me.
The second one that you're talking about that you cried at didn't get me as much, but the first one, go on.
There was just the last episode, the last bit of the second to last episode of WandaVision, and then the whole last bit of the final episode. Both, I was absolutely sobbing. I made the mistake of ordering a pizza for the last episode, and I was watching it crying and eating a pizza, and it was not a good combination.
Bridge to Terabithia. I didn't cry, but I was shook. I was like,
I can't deal with. I think with WandaVision, I was proper like absolutely bawling, but also I think that's because it's one of the first things I'd watched that had made me cry when I wasn't sat with people, like because I've always been kind of watching things with my family, whereas I watched that alone, so I could sob.
I've just realized I can remember the first movie I ever cried at, and it's so stupid.
What was it?
I cried at Free Willy.
Oh, Free Willy.
It wasn't even like an emotional, like, you're free, but it was when he took off his pendant and he threw it at the whale. I was like, and I remember my mum and dad came downstairs and they were like, what's wrong? And I was like, he threw his pendant at the whale. I remember being so upset about that.
Oh no, that was sad. Do you know what? I also cry at happy moments. Like I don't want to say what people have probably watched Endgame if they're going to now, but I'm not going to say anything. But there is a scene in Endgame that is a huge oh my god moment, and there is an audience reaction to it on YouTube, and I cannot watch that audience reaction without crying because of how emotional it was. I don't think I'll ever have a cinema experience like that. It was so unique. And I just like that whole bit when the audience is going, yes! And I'm just like,
although I think the bit that I cried at was the bit following.
Yeah, oh, that whole bit, that bit and the bit following, that whole thing just completely got me. Also, Francesca, please watch Endgame. Please. Oh gosh, so good. And then go and watch the reaction in the theaters because that was just something different.
I think Tangled makes me cry as well. Yeah. The one where okay, the thing that makes me cry is it's not really a spoiler because you know what's happening kind of thing, but you're kind of dreading it. It's basically this anime called Violet Evergarden on Netflix. It's not available in English dub yet, I don't think. And there was an episode and I was like, this is going to bore the hell out of me. It's a very slow anime, but I was loving the art style and I was like, this is going to bore the hell out of me. I was hyperventilating, crying, sniffing, coughing, everything after that episode. I was gone. I could not stop crying. It broke my heart, like absolutely shattered me. And it was like a Violet Evergarden is essentially someone that you hire to write your letters because they're living in a society where not a lot of people know how to write or like spell and stuff like that, which is really weird. So she's hired.
Oh, has Lauren broken up or have I broken up? I think you broke up a bit there. Okay.
Yeah.
She's hired. She's hired.
Okay, she's hired to write the letters basically for her. And she's hired by this woman who has a daughter. Her dad's not in the picture, but the mum is ill.
Oh.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
I just can't deal with stuff like that. It's too why are we ending this on such a depressing note?
But it's just I found it hilarious, and that just shows like the power of a good friggin' story. Because when it started, I was like, and I found out, oh, she's going to write the letters for this mum, and I was like, great, I'm going to be bored. I hyperventilated, cried, like absolutely hyperventilated, cried. I was a mess, and I can't even like begin to explain that. And then there's also Naruto, which also had me almost hyperventilating, crying. But no, a Violet Evergarden wrecked me absolutely. Like, think of the most broken you could ever potentially see me, and times it by 10.
Why do I want to watch it now you've said that? There's this fan video I've watched and it's got a scene from anime in it where this girl breaks down screaming on the floor, and I always wonder what that is. So maybe that's that.
It's blonde.
I can't remember. I just remember her breaking down and screaming.
I would highly recommend Violet Evergarden for anyone, but I will say, like, it isn't sub. It's quite an empowering anime. It shows like no matter who you are, what your background is, you can make a life for yourself.
Okay,
and
I like that.
It just,
I may give it. I keep seeing it pop up. On Ashley's point here, is there a song that's ever made you cry? Like, not a song attached to a film or anything? Because I could take this line. I could see why that would get you, Ashley.
No. Can I choose an OST?
Yeah, that's what mine would be. Mine would be
Alright.
Once Upon a Time in... Oh, God, what's it actually? Hang on. There's a film, and I don't want to get it wrong. I think it's Once Upon a Time in New York?
Francesca, definitely watch Violet Evergarden. It's so good.
What's your... Hang on. No, Once Upon a Time in the West. Once Upon a Time in New York film. Once Upon a Time in the West. This gets me so much. There's a little bit of like... No, it's not opera-y at all, but there is a slight bit of a woman singing. And I remember being at a particularly like scary time at the end of uni where I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, and everyone was leaving, and I was just really sad about leaving. And I played this in the shower, in a candlelit shower, and I just remember it getting me, and I just cried in the shower.
Is that on your playlist that you're going to send me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to that. One that gets me is hold on, I need to get the actual name.
While you're searching for the name, Orchestra is just beautiful. I went to see just before lockdown, well, not just before, but like the Christmas before. My mum and I went to see Hans Zimmer versus John Williams, played at South Bank in London, and it was stunning. It was orchestra performances, and it was just so beautiful. We had tickets to see another one with Lord of the Rings music, but then lockdown happened.
Oh, I really wanted to go to that because I saw it advertised and the tickets were just ridiculous. And you know, one thing that I would probably have cried at if I got to go to the Greatest Showman one, that would have got me.
That film gets me as well.
Yeah, I don't cry at it, but I get really like, yeah. Right, so the music that gets me every time is it almost makes me cry wanting to say the name. The Gift of a Thistle from Braveheart / The Gift from a Princess from Braveheart. The music from that gets me.
The Gift of a Thistle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna listen to that when I have a shower.
It's
that sounds weird, but
it's very. I mean, it's Scottish. It's from Braveheart, but oh my god,
the Outlander soundtrack is stunning, and that one's Scottish. That's such a beautiful soundtrack.
There's a bit at the beginning of so it's like it starts off quite slow and then it kind of picks up a little bit and then it starts like you'll know it when you hear it, but it immediately when this like louder music starts, your heartstrings are just like pulled.
And I suppose. Oh, go on. Sorry, I didn't know you had another one. Go on.
The other one I have is an anime one. But it was written for the anime specifically. It's called Tomorrow by Kevin Penkin. And it was a bit of music written for the anime called Made in Abyss. And it's a very sad but then majestic piece of music. And I listened to this and I came up with my fantasy book idea.
That's pretty cool.
From this song alone, like it just right off the bat.
The playlist that you're going to send me. Lauren and I are making each other playlists because we recently discovered we actually have really similar taste in music. But I suppose you don't really know those kind of things when you're not like living near someone, because you don't like normally you'd get in my car and you'd hear my music, but you don't.
Do you remember what is it in Edinburgh when we were sitting in the room and we were just thinking of something to do whilst we were getting ready to go out to Pizza Hut or something like that, and I was like, right, Beth, what's this song? And I played it, and then you did the same.
Yeah,
that was fun.
To end on a jolly note, something that has made you happy this year.
You can answer yours first. I'm going to have to think for a minute.
I like this. Yes, what Ashley said here.
Anything that you've just handed them.
Yeah.
Yes. Spot on.
Something's made you happy. This year, I think whilst I moved last year, I think I've really come into my own with the flat recently, because I've been able to, like, the office that I'm in now wasn't looking like this before. It had a big bed behind me and it just didn't fit and it was cramped, and I think the rooms are all coming together. My bathroom renovation is finished, the kitchen is nearly finished, and it will be finished by the end of the month, and just this is my space, and it is so my space has made me extremely happy. I'm so proud of myself for doing this on my own, because I thought I had to have a partner, and I don't. I am single and alone, and all my friends that live near me are in relationships and stuff, and I thought that would make me feel crap, and it doesn't. So I am very proud of myself.
The range when you're saying how close, because like if you're saying someone who lives close to me within the same country, I'm still single.
That's true. I mean, the friends that live in the same town, but yeah, it's oh, thank you, Ashley. Hang on.
Ooh.
Thank you. I love this so much better. Like, because these were all over there, which you can't see. So it was always off camera. So it was like the bed thing was behind me. But now I've got like this really nice setup as well. Ignore the tripods, but like.
Look, there's my bed.
That's the futon. So it basically just pulls out, and that's where Lauren's going to sleep. But
Yeah, right.
Yeah, oh, that's a nicer sell because I've got the little rainbow thing. I'm not reading the shop properly, but yeah,
Oh, there's
this
two good
tapestry.
things.
Huh?
Sorry, there's two good things. Someone got their vaccine and someone said their ward is being COVID-free.
Yay!
I'm
I have to
getting
say
my
that's a massive
vaccine.
thing too.
I know,
Coming
I'm getting
out
my
of
vaccine hopefully in a couple of weeks because I didn't get the letter saying I had to go and get my vaccine, but I got a letter saying that if I lived with anyone who was shielding and I lived with 2 people who are shielding, then I have to call up and book. So I called up and booked, and I should be getting an appointment soon, hopefully within the next 4 weeks, they said.
yay!
So nervous to see if I have any side effects. That'll be interesting. But I'm trying. Honest to God, I don't think there's anything. This sounds really sad, but I don't think there's anything happy that's happened
You
to me
got back
this
to your Instagram goal.
year. Well, yeah, I hit 70k on Instagram. I'm now back where I was before the algorithm completely destroyed me. And that's good. I guess getting my hair done.
That's cool.
It seems really sad when I'm like, nothing happy's happened to me this year.
No, you can totally have that. That's good. That's a happy thing.
Yeah. I think most of the things I'm most excited for are later this year. Obviously coming down to see you will be fun.
Yes, can't wait.
Potentially,
Can't wait.
yeah, going to London for some book events could be fun. I'm going to the Enchanted Forest up in Pitlochry in the Highlands of Scotland for the Enchanted Forest again, which I love. We go every single October, apart from last October, which was so sad, but that's very, very magical. I love that. So that's probably the things that will be like the best thing that's happened to me in 2021 when it happens.
I'm so excited for that because like 2019, which was I feel like the last year we had because 2020 just nothing could happen then.
2020 does not exist.
Yeah, in 2019 I got broken up with in March, and then I thought it was gonna be the worst year ever, and then like from July onwards I went to 4 different countries, I think. One of them was for work and 3 were for holidays. I went to see Lauren and like just had the best time, and it ended up being
a good tour, guys.
Yeah, it's just like it was great. It was so good. And I thought it started off as the worst year ever because my relationship of 5 years ended, and then it ended up being great. So yeah.
Joe Davies Morby says, I'm getting married in Edinburgh in less than a month, and that will be the highlight of my year. Congratulations.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Where are you getting married in Edinburgh? Would love to know.
I'm very excited for my friend's wedding. It's like she's so sad that it got moved, and like we've been best friends since we were 4, so 21 years. So to see her get married and to be a maid of honor, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for you to come down. Like that's going to be so much fun. Like imagine the chaos, guys.
The thing is, it's just we're just so night and day, like just so completely different. So it will be chaotic, but also at the same time it will be fun. Ashley, also yes, Enchanted Forest. You will be very intrigued to maybe hear a bit more about that. Yeah.
That's exciting. Bigger place.
We're eloping at the City Chambers. Oh, that's so nice. The City Chambers are really nice there.
Cool. I think that's probably everything. I should round this off. We went over what we said, but hey ho.
I sit around it to 2 hours and 15 minutes.
No, we did this with 2 and then we kept talking until now.
2 hours and 15 minutes and 3 seconds.
3, this is very precise. Thank you so much to everyone who's rocked up. That's exciting to finish your A-levels. Good luck.
Oh,
good luck with them. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I've left Lauren's Instagram down in the description below, so if you wanted to follow her, she's
Did you? That's so nice of you. Wow.
I did. Were you there?
Oh,
one day maybe I'll put her booktube because we should all bully her into starting one.
I'm not getting a picture.
I think I could convince her when she comes down to stay with me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for rocking up. Thank you. I feel like whenever I end things, I always feel like I have to sign them off the way I do my videos. If you did like this video, please do hit the thumbs up button. Comment down below.
If you did like me, follow my Instagram.
If you like Lauren, follow her Instagram. If you like me and you're not already subscribed, do subscribe and hit the bell button. And if you like me even more, I've got a Patreon that's linked down below, and there's various different tiers of fun shiz happening.
Lauren, I forgot to say you inspired me to try cola gin. Might get one. Yes, do it and send me a voice note about your thoughts. I want to know. Sorry.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming, Abby.
Oh, also maybe you should let the people know that you might be doing another live soon that might involve some games.
Yes, I am hoping to do a live with a bit more planning soon in the coming weeks that will be game themed, because Lauren has a game that she has bought, and it's a Bookish game. It's like an actual game that she wants us to play on the live.
The only thing is there's no winners, so I don't know how we're going to make it like a winner kind of thing.
We could do points. We could get people to vote for what they think the best answers are, and then that's
probably the best one.
Yeah. So there will be another live coming soon, maybe next weekend. My kitchen is being finished in my flat very soon, so I'm going to have to leave my flat for that time because it's going to be so fumey with the paint that I've been advised that I'll probably be better not being in the flat. But yes, there will be games.
Oh, hold on. Should I give a snippet? Should I give a? Oh. That's upside down.
What could you so yeah, if you want to see that, then that'll be coming soon. But I will give more notice. We fancy doing a little last minute live, so we thought we'd do it here. And I've liked doing it over here rather than on Instagram. It was fun.
I do enjoy doing it on Instagram. Like, I must admit, like, Instagram is my primary platform, but since I've started doing some like YouTube ones as well, I have enjoyed it. Yeah,
I like the setup a little bit better, personally, for YouTube. But yeah, I like both. But thank you to everyone that rocked up. Shall we do an awkward wave that lasts for way longer than it needs to? Because when you click end broadcast, it doesn't actually end the broadcast.
That's to you.
No. We don't swear at the people that watch the video.
Earlier, you said just say it. Just say the word.
Yeah, that wasn't swearing. Thank you guys so much for rocking out. As I said, everything's down below. Social links, Patreon, affiliate links. I don't know, it's all there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Keep smiling and stay positive. Bye. Keep waving, Lauren. You have to keep waving.